welcome to iTrack Motorsports Excite GP Round 3 here at Lanier Raceplex.
We are your hosts, Taylor Nichols.
And I'm Ryan Anderson, coming at you live from beautiful Brazelton, Georgia.
Stands are packed, and we're going to have an awesome battle. Ryan, what are you expecting here today at the third and final round of Excite GP?
Well, we have a lot of close competitors. We've seen a lot of tight battles this year at CMP and Talladega, but here at Round 3, anything can happen as we have a close points race between a lot of good drivers. Before we get things kicked off, we want to thank our sponsors here at iTrack Motorsports. Bonavibe, best damn shop around, and Bridge Moto.
Before we get into the top 16 competition, let's go over what all has happened this year so far. The iTrack Motorsports Excite GP 2021 season started off in beautiful Talladega, Alabama at Talladega Grand Prix Raceway. Austin Bates took out Chris Cote and Nicky Gomez in his first two battles. In the top 16, Chris Ward eliminated James Neal and went on to the Grade 8 to battle Matt Brewer. Chris Ward and Austin Bates battled in the top 4, with Chris coming out on top, giving Austin the third place. Emerson Jr. went one more time with Diego Gordino in top 16, but went on to battle Corey Snyder in Grade 8 and ended up in the finals against Chris Ward. After fighting mechanical issues and expiring his 5-minute timeout, Chris Ward would be given the second place trophy, awarding the win to Emerson on a technicality.
Round 2, we traveled our farthest distance to Camden, South Carolina to Carolina Motorsports Park. On this wonderful 2.3-mile road course, Austin Bates won his first 2 rounds against John Elrod and Chris Allen. 16-year-old Emerson Jr. took out Mitch Chastain in the first round, and with a huge upset to the point standings, eliminated ex-Formula Drift Pro Chris Ward in the Grade 8. James Neal took out Emmet after being sideswiped in his lead run and went to the next round against Matt Brewer. Emerson Jr. and James Neal came out on top in the final 4 against Will Couch and Austin Bates, sending them to the third place battle. James and Emerson would battle in the final round at CMP, granting James Neal the win after Emerson straightens in his chase run. This would put Emerson Jr. at the top of the Excite GP Championship standings with 27 points, Austin Bates in second with 20 points, and James Neal is 1 point ahead of Chris Ward in third with 19 points.
We took our best drivers from qualifying and lined them up head-to-head for our top 16 battles. Our first battle, we will have Josh McCormick and Sammy Tiger.
In our second battle, we have Nick Novak versus Daniel Brown.
Third battle will be Dustin Lehmann and Sloan Spivey.
The next battle is James Neal and Diego Gordino.
Next up, we have Matt Gankos and Emmet Ash.
In the next battle, we have Ben Hobson versus Carter Gold.
After that, we have Emerson Jr. and Will Couch.
And in our final battle, we have Matt Brewer versus Austin Bates. One of the benefits of being here at Lanier Raceplex is the opportunity for an infinite amount of track layouts.
Today for Excite GP Round 3, we have a mirrored version of Mahon.
Off-the-line drivers will go into a gentleman's roll until the front straight. After that, they'll initiate into that first outer zone and bring it back into the first inner clip. Well, they will have to transition into the second inner clip and bring it back out to the wall to finish the run.
Before we start our Legends Top 16 battle, let's throw it down into the bowl with our pit side reporter.
Come on, I got it. All right, we're here with Sloan Spivey. Spivey. Driver of the. It's a Toyota JZ Cruiser. Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser. How confident are you going into today's comp?
Pretty confident. I try to mainly win everything that I go. What do you keep standing up and down for?
I don't know.
Don't. He didn't mean to cuss. I'm always confident. Why do I feel like I'm interviewing you?
Are you disappointed to be kicked off Team Top Garage?
I'm a little sad about it, but that's what happens when you stop your friends tooling up by doing an upper decker without their permission.
Do you think Will Couch is a good replacement on Team Top Garage for you?
His car is the same color, but it's uglier. But don't tell him that I said that.
What makes it uglier?
Say it again into the microphone.
What? The microphone's not plugged in or anything.
Sorry, I didn't know that it wasn't plugged into anything.
What makes your car cooler than his, even though it's smashed more?
I'm driving it, in the seat. I drive it. I drive mine.
So if you were driving his car, it would be cooler.
Yeah, rationally speaking. Irrationally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any sponsors? Team Top Garage?
It's Samuel. It's actually Jater. I don't know his last name because he's from Thailand. Tiger Racing. And best damn shop around. I didn't mean to cuss on your podcast.
All right, in our first battle, we have Josh McCormick in that silver NB Miata versus Sammy Tiger in that blue S13. As we discussed before, these guys are going to do a gentleman's roll around that right-handed carousel and get into the front straight. Big speed on the accelerator there. Josh McCormick flicking it into that first outer zone. Sammy Tiger trying to initiate there, having to cut on the inside as Josh goes wide. Josh having to shut it down. Sammy as well, going around that first inner clip, reinitiating, transitioning into that second inner clip. Sammy trying to catch up, but Josh with that big mistake in that first lead run is going to cost him.
Yeah, that was a big mistake from Josh on outer zone 1. He's going to have to put the pressure on hard and possibly try to force a mistake from Sammy Tiger to get the advantage on this run.
Most definitely. Sammy Tiger is going to have the advantage going into this lead run for him in the second half of this exciting first round battle.
All right, they're off the line for their second battle with Sammy Tiger leading Josh McCormick. Sammy Tiger with big angle and cutting it a little close. Josh McCormick again on the outside of that corner. Sammy Tiger has a good line coming through inner clip 1, transitioning to inner clip 2. Josh McCormick seems to be a little behind. Sammy Tiger swinging it out to the wall, finishing his lead run.
Most definitely. Sammy Tiger with a strong lead run there, looking a lot more composed on that initiation going into turn 1.
All right, results are in for that battle. It appears that Sammy Tiger is going to pull off the win against Josh McCormick. For our second battle here, we have Nick Novak and Daniel Brown. Daniel Brown in the red Miata, Nick Novak in the yellow E36. Both of these vehicles have forced induction. Daniel Brown with a turbo in his little Miata, and Nick Novak with a brand new supercharger for this round of Excite GP in his yellow E36. As they come down the straightaway, initiating into the first outer zone, Daniel Brown hits a barrel. Coming into the first inner clip, both on a good line. Nick Novak close on the chase. Ooh, very close into the last outer zone.
Very close indeed. Daniel Brown looking really composed in his lead run, really getting close to that second inner clip on the transition. As we get into the second half of this exciting battle, Nick Novak is going to be your lead car in that yellow E36 with Daniel Brown giving chase. Again, these guys are going to be doing a gentleman's roll around this carousel, and then after that, it's going to be all gas as they barrel down towards that first corner. Daniel Brown giving chase. Nick Novak with a big flick into the outside zone, going a little bit shallow. Daniel Brown there on his door, though, going around inner clip 1. Great line by both these drivers. Daniel Brown getting offline there on transition. A little bit of a hiccup. Nick Novak continuing on, shutting it down, going towards the final wall.
You're right, Ryan. That was a little bit of a mistake from Daniel Brown. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off against Nick Novak on that round. All right, we have it in from the judges. It looks like Nick Novak is going to get the win on that battle. Pulling into the donut box, we have Dustin Lehmann and his rotary-powered RX-7 versus Sloan Spivey and his RV-powered S13. Both these cars are making upwards of 450 horsepower. This should be a fairly good battle, knowing these drivers and how closely matched they are in their driving skills.
As Matt lines them up, Sloan's going to be in that blue S13, Dustin giving chase in that black RX-7. As they get onto the front straight, Sloan on the gas there. Good flick from him getting into that outer zone. Dustin going a little bit wide and has a little bit of gap there from that lead car. Sloan, great line, hitting clip 1. Transitions into clip 2. Great line. Dustin playing a little bit of catch-up there. Straightening around that final turn and bringing it to the wall.
Going into this second battle, Dustin's going to have a little bit of a disadvantage against Sloan because I know Sloan is going to be right on his tail on initiation. As the drone comes into view, Matt lining them up and sending them off for the second battle. Dustin Lehmann leading Sloan Spivey out of the gentleman's roll and into that straightaway. Sloan right on his tail on initiation. Very close initiation. Oh, getting real close with Sloan. Sloan right on his door going into this first inner clip. Transitioning into the second inner clip. Sloan still right on his bumper. Very, very close going into the outer zone against the wall. Even though it was a close battle against Dustin Lehmann and Sloan Spivey, it looks like Sloan's going to pull out the win against Dustin.
In this next battle, we have James Neal in that Frankenstein E46 and Diego Gordino in that E30. James is going to be your lead car in this next battle. Coming down the front straight, James getting a little bit loose, using that as his initiation, flicking it into outer zone 1. Great line by him, Diego, great proximity, but big angle by James. Diego trying to keep up. James absolutely throwing smoke in transition and bringing it out to that final wall. Diego's doing what he can to break traction, but just not able to get those tires to spin.
Yeah, Ryan, it looks like Diego was a little bit straight on the last half of that run, at least through inner clip 2 and outer zone 2. In the second battle, Diego in the red E30 will be leading James Neal in the white E46, Ryan?
Yep, you got that right. That is a crazy car, but it is exciting to watch.
Diego coming down the straightaway. Big flick into outer zone 1. A little wide going into the beginning of outer zone 1. James Neal right on the back bumper of Diego. Transitioning into inner clip 2. James Neal with big angle coming out to outer zone 2 in his chase run. Looks like James Neal is going to pull out the win from Diego on that battle. Matt Gankos and Emmet in the burnout box right now, pulling up to the line. Matt Gankos in the white S13 will be leading Emmet in the purple Top Garage R32. In their gentleman's roll, as they roll onto the front straight, accelerating into outer zone 1. Good line from both drivers going into inner clip 1. A little bit of gap from Emmet. Good angle from Matt Gankos in his lead run. Emmet getting a little closer as they get out to the wall in outer zone 2.
In the second half of this battle, we're going to have Emmet in that purple R32 as your chase car. Matt's going to be giving chase in that white 240. Big flick from Emmet going into outer 1. Big angle from him, shallowing up, throwing off that chase car, having to shut down. Emmet's going to continue the run. See if we get that chase car to get back in the frame there. Matt's just going to shut it down as Emmet continues through the end of the run.
That was big angle, and that definitely threw off Matt in his chase run. I feel like that's going to be big points against Emmet in his lead run, don't you think, Ryan?
Most definitely. We'll have to see what the judges say with that chase car spinning out due to that lead car having an error. Yeah, the results are in. It appears that the judges are going to rule in Matt's favor in that white 240, with Emmet having that big correction on initiation in the second half.
Pulling to the line, we have Ben Hobson in his FD Pro Spec LS-powered S-chassis, along with Carter Gold in his blue E36. As they finish their gentleman's roll, Ben Hobson with big angle coming into the initiation. Perfect line on that outer zone 1. Lots of smoke coming off that LS-powered S-chassis. Perfect line coming through inner clip 1. Carter Gold coming through the smoke very nicely as they bring it out to the wall in outer zone 2.
As we get into the second half of this battle, Carter's going to be leading in that blue E36. Ben Hobson giving chase, coming off the gentleman's roll. They get on the power. And Carter's going to have a big flick into outer zone 1. And Ben Hobson straightening, clipping the back bumper of that E36, his own bumper ripping off. Carter's going to continue to run around inner clip 1, going into inner clip 2. Looks like Ben's going to have to shut it down as there's damage to that LS-powered S-chassis.
That was a pretty big mistake coming from Ben Hobson. I feel like he was not prepared for a chase against a lower-powered car on this track.
Most definitely. Always challenging pitting two cars that are so different against each other on such a small track. So we can see on instant replay here, Carter's going to be your lead car. Big e-brake lockup, trying to initiate brake to rear traction, but Ben is not prepared for that big slowdown. Clipping the rear of that blue E36, his bumper exploding, and that's going to be all she wrote for that second half of the battle.
It appears, Ryan, he got the front fender of Carter Gold right there. Just Ben Hobson having too much speed coming into that first outer zone and not being able to stop in time. Looks like that's going to be an easy decision for the judges. Carter Gold getting the win on that with that big mistake from Ben Hobson.
In this next battle, we have Emerson Jr. in that black E36 versus Will Couch in that blue 240. This is a ginormous battle for Emerson Jr. as if he advances from this battle, he will be your Excite GP 2021 champion. As we get started here, Emerson's going to be your lead car in that black E36 with Will Couch giving chase. Will Couch on the side of that E36. Emerson trying to find space to initiate. Will right there on his door. Big angle from both drivers, slowing it down, bringing it back into inner clip 1. Big smoke from Emerson. Will is there. Great transition from both drivers. Bringing it out to the wall now. Just a great clean battle between two very experienced drivers.
Again, this is a very important battle for Emerson Jr. if he wants to keep his #1 spot in the championship standings. As they come out of the carousel, Will Couch with a good flick into outer zone 1. Good line from both drivers. Emerson with good proximity coming into inner clip 1. Big angle from Will Couch. It appears that slowed Emerson down a little bit. Will Couch pulling a gap on Emerson going out to the wall in outer zone 2.
Again, yeah, a very clean battle between these two drivers. Kind of hard to tell the two runs apart. They have been so similar, but we'll have to see what the judges say about that.
It appears the judges have decided that it's going to be a one more time battle for Emerson and Will Couch.
Getting into this one more time battle, Emerson Jr. is going to be your lead car. Will Couch giving chase again. A lot riding on this battle, a lot of pressure on these two drivers to continue on into the top 8. Big flick from Emerson mid-track, not getting all the way out to that outer zone. Will Couch right there. A little bit of brake checkup from that chase car as Emerson brings it around inner clip 1. Good transition from both drivers. A lot of smoke pouring out from that black Victory Motorsports E36. Will Couch right there, though, as they finish out that run.
Ryan, that was a great chase run from Will Couch. That's going to be very hard for Emerson to beat going into the second battle on this one more time.
Most definitely. Excited to see the second half of this battle.
Both drivers coming off the carousel, accelerating towards outer zone 1. Big speed from Will Couch in the blue S13. Good proximity from Emerson Jr. going into inner clip 1 as they transition. Emerson coming through the smoke line and looking very good on his chase run as they go out to the wall. That's going to be a tough decision for the judges after that one more time battle from these very highly skilled drivers.
And after much deliberation, it looks like Will Couch is going to get the win in that blue S13, beating out Emerson Jr., which will end his run at the Excite GP 2021 Championship. As we get into the final battle of top 16 here, Matt Brook is going to be in that borrowed blue S13 from Brandon Beata. Austin Bates in the Sideways Sheriff Mustang. Lights on, coming down the straight. Matt's going to flick it in that blue S13. Close battle between two highly skilled drivers. Matt overcooking outer zone 1, going wide. Austin still there, staying in the drift. Good transition from both drivers. Glad to see them stay in drift, even though that lead car had a big mistake.
Going into our second battle, we have Austin Bates leading Matt Brewer with the Sideways Sheriff police car. Coming off the gentleman's roll, lights on for Sideways Sheriff. Big speed. Matt really close in the chase. Oh, looks like Matt has spun out. I don't know what happened there. Sideways Sheriff looks like he gets a solo run in this second battle. Not sure what happened with Matt Brewer on the initiation there, but we will go back to the replay and see exactly what happened.
As we go back to the replay, you can see Austin on initiation doing a big feint kind of mid-track there, and Matt just getting a little too cozy, trying to mimic the initiation of that Mustang.
Matt being a little too close upon initiation, not giving Austin Bates enough room, tapping his rear quarter panel with his front wheel, causing a big spin out in outer zone 1.
A big spin out indeed. The judges are going to have to take a second look at that to see who's at fault in that big contact. That is the halfway point here at Lanier Raceplex in beautiful Brownston, Georgia.
As drivers get ready for their grade 8 battles, Let's see what happened in the Excite GP Club Sport competition.
Let's take a look at the lineup for the final round of Excite GP Club Sport competition. Ethan Johnson versus Michael Lafferthon. Vlad versus Avery Miles. Trey Matheson versus John Otani. Bryson Harris versus Jake Moretz. Brandon Beata versus Carlos. Chase Kern versus Sammy Tiger. Tim Wallace versus Nathan Merriweather. Casey Crossnow versus Jake Spanton. For the first battle of the Club Sport Top 16, we have Michael in the Miata leading Ethan with his black 240. Ethan with a small mistake straightening on the first run, but Michael takes himself out in his follow run trying to keep up with a spin in outer zone 1. The next battle was Vlad in his 350Z versus Avery borrowing that 4-door E36. Vlad locked up the brakes right after initiation as he drove too shallow into outer zone 1 in the first half of this battle. In the second half of this battle, Avery had a small correction before interclip 1. Unfortunately, he understeered into the flag stand to avoid Vlad spinning out right before the finish. Bryson and Jake had an awesome battle with Bryson in a borrowed K8 powered 240 as his turbo SR was giving him trouble. He was able to keep his angle shallow and proximity close to squeeze the win from Jake in his 350Z. Sammy Tiger and Jace Kern went one more time in their battle. After 2 battles with little to no mistakes from both drivers, Jace Kern comes out on top with the win in his stock 350Z. Nathan put up a solid lead run in his purple S13, making it easy for Tim to chase in his cheater Corvette. After straightening on initiation and cutting interclip 1 too tight, Nathan gave up the win to Tim. The final battle of Club Sport Top 16 is Jake Spannon and Casey in his rotary RX-7. Jake led with a solid run, pulling away slightly in the last few corners, but Casey overslowed after initiation, giving the win to Jake. In the first battle in the Grade 8, we had Bryson leading with John Otani in the Mustang, giving some space in the chase, but throwing big angle into that last outer zone. Bryson kept it tight in the second half of the battle, but didn't have the big angle the judges were looking for, giving John Otani the win. Jake almost stole the win from points leader Tim Wallace, going one more time in their first battle. Jake kept his bumper inches off Tim's door in the first outside zone, but didn't have enough to hang with him through the rest of that one more time battle. In the first round of the Final Four, Ethan in his black S13 put down a solid lead run, but didn't quite have the proximity that John did in his stock Mustang. This bumped Ethan to the third place battle. In the first battle of the Final Four, Tim Wallace in the best damn shop around Corvette walked away from Jace in his Foo Fighters 350Z off the line, but Tim went 2 off in outer zone 1. Jace didn't have the power to pull on the Corvette in the second round, making it easy for Tim to keep on his bumper and put Jace in the third place battle with Ethan. In the third place battle, there were minimal mistakes from both Jace and Ethan, but Jace kept it tighter in his chase run, giving him the podium position. In the last round of the evening, Tim Wallace and John Otani battled to see who would be standing on top of the podium. The first battle was a clean run from both parties. Tim with a clean line through the course and John keeping it tight in chase through the final section. John Otani in the final battle took the upset win over the Club Sport champion Tim Wallace as Tim made a big mistake in the last inside clip, straightening and giving the overall win to John and his Mustang.
Before we get into Grade 8, let's throw it to our trackside reporter who has Tim Wallace, who is competing in our Club Sport competition.
We're here with Tim Wallace, driver of the black Corvette. Are you excited for the competition tomorrow?
Absolutely. Anytime we get a chance to come out here and compete, go door-to-door, head-to-head with these fine competitors, I'm excited to be here.
Some may say you brought a cheater car to a knife fight. How do you feel driving the Corvette in the Club Sport series?
Well, currently this Corvette is bone stock, so the way I feel it is these people with these $20,000 240s can't beat a stock Corvette. That's their own problem.
But you do sponsor the event with Best Damn Shop around your shop, correct?
We do. iTrack Motorsports is one of the best motorsports organizations in the world, definitely the Southeast. And we are a sponsor for the events, and also we sponsor all the judges for my placement.
So you are basically just winning back your own money.
You could say that.
Any last words, Tim?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a shout out to all my sponsors. It's Red Bull. You know, we're driving for them today. Out here, put on a good show. I'm on Nexon tires, Valino tires, any tires I can get for free or cheap. And yeah, so goal number 1 is to win. Goal number 2 is to run over Bryson.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Our first battle of Excite GP Legends Grade 8 is going to be Nick Novak versus Sammy Tiger. Sammy Tiger in that blue S13 and Nick Novak giving chase in that yellow E36. Off the roll, getting onto the power now on the front straight. Sammy Tiger is in that blue S13, going to initiate nice and early. Nick Novak getting a little bit left behind there on initiation. Sammy Tiger bringing it around the inner one, looking really clean on line. Nick Novak trying to gain his proximity back as they finish out the run. A clean run by both drivers. A little bit of bobble there from that chase car in the first half.
Yeah, Ryan, Nick was a little slow on initiation, but he definitely caught up in the later half of that run. Hopefully that doesn't hurt him too much in the judges' decisions. Nick Novak in the yellow E36 will be leading Sammy Tiger as they come around the carousel in their gentleman's roll. Coming on to power on the straightaway. Ooh, Sammy Tiger real close on the rear bumper of Nick Novak, but it looks like it slowed him down a little bit. Sammy Tiger tight as they come into inner clip 1. But keeping proximity good as Nick Novak has a perfect line coming out to outer zone 2.
Most definitely. Tiger really trying to capitalize on Nick Novak's mistake there on that first corner. After that close battle, looks like we're going to have a one more time for Sammy Tiger versus Nick Novak in this first Grade 8 battle. Sammy Tiger in that Tiger Motorsports blue S13 is going to be your lead car with Nick Novak giving chase. Again, these guys are doing a gentleman's roll around that right-handed carousel, and then after that, they are nothing but power as Sammy Tiger throws it into that first outer zone. A little bit shallow, Nick Novak following the line of that lead car. Coming around that first clip, Nick Novak is there mimicking that lead car. Sammy doing a good job of staying clean, but Nick Novak has an opportunity here to really impress the judges.
I agree, Ryan. Nick Novak looked really good in the second half of that chase run. I don't know if Sammy Tiger is going to be able to pull it off being that shallow in his initiation.
Most definitely, Nick Novak is going to have a slight advantage here going into the second half of this one more time.
Nick Novak is going to be leading this run in that yellow E36 as they finish the gentleman's roll and roll onto the power. Here they come. Sammy Tiger real close. That may have messed him up. Sammy Tiger tight on initiation. Oh, hits Nick Novak. That is a big mistake, possibly from Sammy Tiger. We don't know if that was against Nick Novak or Sammy. We will have to go to the judges to find out.
Yeah, big contact there between those two drivers. It's going to be a tough decision by the judges to blame fault.
It looks like they decided that Nick Novak slowed down too much in a zone that was not a D-cell zone. So they're going to give Sammy Tiger the win on this one more time battle.
Our next battle in the Grade 8 is going to be Sloan Spivey versus James Neal. Sloan's going to be in that blue S13 playing lead car here as they come off the roll. Both drivers getting on the gas. High horsepower matchup. Sloan, good initiation. James right there straightening from the chase car there. Sloan's going to continue out the run in the lead position. Big mistake there by James. Sloan's going to have a big advantage going into his chase run here in the Grade 8.
That's right, Ryan. James Nealis threw big angle upon his initiation and ended up understeering into outer zone 1. In this second battle with James Nealis and Sloan Spivey, James Nealis is going to be leading. He's going to have to put down a great lead run as they come around. Looks like Sloan giving a little bit of more room than he normally would, knowing that James made a big mistake. Sloan Spivey right on the door of James Nealis as they come through inner clip 2. Out to outer zone 2, right on his back bumper, or lack thereof.
Great chase, great car control there by Sloan in that chase position. And going to the judges, it looks like Sloan is going to get the win in that blue S13, moving on to the final 4 here at Excite GP. In this next top 8 matchup, we have Carter Gold versus Matt Gankos. Matt Gankos is going to be your lead car in that white S13, throwing it in a nice smooth initiation into outer 1. Carter giving him a little bit of gap there as they bring it into inner 1. Good angle from Matt in that lead position. Carter trying to just mimic that lead car's angle. Does a good job getting close to him in that last outer zone at the wall. Good, solid run by both drivers there.
Carter Gold really bringing in the proximity later in that run. Hopefully that will help him towards the judges. In third battle of the Grade 8, Carter Gold leading Matt Gankos into the gentleman's roll. Carter Gold with his exhaust barely hanging on there. You can see it bouncing below his rear bumper there. So they come into the straightaway. Carter rolling on the power. Nice conservative flick from Carter. Matt Gankos keeping it close. Ooh, Matt Gankos gaining proximity there as they come into inner clip 1. Nice transition from Carter, tapping the inner clip there with his front bumper. It looks like that lack of proximity from Carter in his chase run gave Matt Gankos the win on that battle.
In our final Grade 8 battle, we have Austin Bates in the Sideways Sheriff Mustang versus Will Couch in that baby blue S13. Off the line, lights on for Austin Bates in the Sideways Sheriff Mustang. Gonna be your lead car. Big initiation from both cars. Will in the chase, getting a little bit disrupted there from the lead car. Austin's gonna finish out this run on his own as Will has to shut it down.
It appears Austin Bates has a big flick upon his initiation. I believe this is his second battle that he's finished by himself because nobody can follow him through the initiation, Ryan. Battle number 2, it's going to be Will Couch leading Austin Bates around the carousel in their gentleman roll. As they come on in straight, Will Couch, a big power, big flick into outer zone 1. Good speed from both drivers with Austin Bates right there behind Will Couch. Good angle coming around inner clip 1, transitioning to inner clip 2 with Austin Bates right there behind him. Good proximity from the chase driver as they finish out the run towards the wall in outer zone 2.
A good clean second half of this battle. Austin with a good clean chase. Will laying down the line knowing that he was at a disadvantage coming into the second half. And it looks like Austin Bates is going to be your winner in our final Grade 8 battle here at Excite GP. That brings us around to our top 4 battles, our final 4 here at Excite GP, round 3 at Lanier Raceplex. Our first battle in the final 4 here in our Legends competition. Sammy Tiger is going to be your lead car in that convertible S13. Sloan is going to be giving chase in the coupe. Getting on the power now, Sammy with a nice big flick, big angle into outer zone 1. Sloan is right there though, on the door of Sammy. Both staying in it, getting around transition. Sloan is still right there on the quarter panel of Sammy. Sammy overcorrecting that angle a little bit on that last outer zone, but a great battle between two experienced drivers.
That was intense, Ryan. Sloan staying right on the back bumper of Sammy. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one for the judges.
Most definitely excited to see the second half of this battle.
On to the second half of the battle. Sloan leading Sammy Tiger into the straightaway. Lots of speed and flick from both drivers. Sloan with big angles. Sammy right there behind him. Sloan putting a little bit of a gap on Sammy Tiger as they go into the final outside zone. That was such a close battle, but it looks like the mistakes Sammy Tiger made at the end of his lead run, as you can see his front bumper is no longer there, will give Sloan Spivey the win.
In the final battle here, in the final 4 of Excite GP Legends competition, we have Austin Bates in that sideways Sheriff Mustang leading Matt Gankos in the chase. Lights on for Austin Bates as he initiates a nice controlled flick there going into outer 1. Matt straightening, not able to keep his rears underneath him. Austin's going to finish out this run. Matt is going to be put at a large disadvantage going into the second half of this battle.
For the second battle, Matt is going to be leading Austin in that white S13. Austin in the sideways Sheriff Mustang. As they round the corner onto the straightaway, lights flashing. Conservative flick from Matt, but keeping his speed up. Austin Bates giving him a conservative gap into inner zone 1. Matt with a good angle and good line. Austin keeping it tight onto his rear bumper as they finish the run in outer zone 2.
In a battle like this, it's always fun to see the difference in initiation between two drivers. Austin Bates with that really aggressive flick going into that first outer zone. Matt with a lot smoother of an entry, just getting on the power and going. Really fun drivers to watch and really great battle to see.
I agree, Ryan. I believe this is also the furthest that Matt has made it in one of our competitions. So it's great to see him making it this far. Looks like the judges have given Austin Bates the win, which means Matt Gankos will go against Sammy Tiger in the third place battle. And Austin Bates will be in the final battle against Sloan Spivey.
As we get off the line here, this is our third place battle with Sammy Tiger going up against Matt Gankos. Sammy Tiger is going to be in that blue convertible with Matt giving chase. Sammy Tiger getting on the power now. Big feint from him going into outer zone 1. Nice initiation from him. Matt nice and clean in the chase. Nice and tidy from both drivers, getting around that first inner clip. Matt's right there, mimicking the angle of that lead car. Sammy a little bit slow getting into that last outer zone, but a good clean run from both these drivers.
Yeah, Ryan, that was a good battle from both drivers. Very little mistakes made, so hopefully this next battle will be just as smooth. We are lined up and ready to go for our final battle for third place. As they round the carousel and into the straightaway, Matt Gankos leading Sammy Tiger. Good initiation, very close from Sammy Tiger. As they come into inner clip 1, very close chase from Sammy and good smooth transition from Matt, pulling a little bit of a gap on Sammy Tiger as they go into outer zone 2.
Yeah, it looks like Sammy Tiger got caught up a little bit in transition there, trying to avoid the rear bumper of that white 240.
And it looks like we're going to have to wait to see who wins the third place battle after the final with Sloan Spivey and Austin Bates.
That's going to bring us to our final battle of the iTrack Motorsports Excite GP 2021 season. Austin Bates is going to be our lead car there in that sideways Sheriff Mustang, with Sloan giving chase in that blue 240. Coming off the roll, Austin Bates, lights on here, getting on the power. Good initiation from him. Sloan right there on the door on initiation in outer zone 1. Great proximity by Sloan, still there going into transition. He is still there on the door of that Mustang, taking the barriers with them. They do not care. They are finishing that run strong. Both drivers absolutely on line and on focus here in the final battle of the Excite GP season.
That was insane, Ryan. I can't tell you, but I have goosebumps. That was so close from Sloan Spivey. As the drivers roll around for their second battle, let's take a look at this replay real quick. Let's see how close Sloan got to that rear bumper of Austin Bates. Upon initiation, Austin Bates swinging it in hard, and Sloan Spivey just kissing the rear bumper of Austin Bates as they initiate into outer zone 1. Sloan Spivey leading Austin Bates in this second battle. It's going to be real hard for Austin to keep as close proximity as Sloan did upon initiation. A little bit of a gap from Austin with an e-brake pull. Good proximity from Austin Bates as they come into inner clip 1. Flowing through the second transition into the last outer zone. Austin clipping a cone as they finish the run.
That's going to be it for us up here in the booth. Now let's throw it down trackside to Matt, who's going to tell us who won here at round 3, and also let us know who won the overall Excite GP season championship.
Driving by everybody. Congrats on everybody who made top 16, and congrats to everybody that wiggled their way through up to the finals. So, we are going to announce the winner for Excite GP round 3. We have also tallied up the points for the season, and we are going to be giving away the season championship trophy as well. So I guess let's get to it. The third place, our friend Matt Gankos. All right, so who thinks that Austin Bates got the win? Who thinks still Sloan got the win? Your round 3 Excite GP Legends 2021 winner, old Sloan Spivey. That means Austin Bates takes second place at round 3. Leading into this round, Emerson was leading points and was pretty solid to take the championship. All you had to do, make it past the first round, and hope that nobody else took him out. Sadly, that did not happen. So by 1 point over the championship, your Excite GP Legends 2021 champion, Austin Bates. Hell yeah, dude! All right, boys, let's pop some champagne. Give it up for your Excite GP winners. Congratulations to Austin. It's been an awesome legend.
Am I still kicked out of Top Garage?
It is now time to party.
It is a beautiful day here at Lanier Race Plex. Good 70-something degrees. You like how I looked at my watch?
You're making all these noises.
I know.
Whoa.
I'm so nervous.
Again, dude, like I can do any of this. Like,
I know. Trust me, I would love for you to do all of this.
you want me to do round 2 and you do round 1?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a water. Lightheaded. Poor.
I'm doing research.
Oh,
on that
man.
part. We're not playing it.
I want to show you my cars today.
Yeah, I know.
What layout is it? Because I know they say like layout C or layout.
I don't think we should even try.
All right, I totally agree. Today for Excite GP Round 3, we will be running a mirrored version of the famous track in Japan.
Here it comes. Famous track in Japan. You won't know it.
Mayhem?
I think what you said originally, like a mirrored Mayhan. Like, oh yeah, everybody knows.
know.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, we know what
like,
this is.
Like
Yeah.
if you don't like, come on.
I'm impressed with my writing, honestly. Like, wow.
No, dude.
That
yeah,
sounds
yeah,
so
thanks,
good
yeah.
coming out of your mouth.
As we get into the second half of this battle, Emmet's going to be that lead car in the purple E36. Jesus Christ.
Not a BMW, Ryan. Just because you drive an E36
Right.
doesn't mean every car is
That's
an
what I'm used to
E36.
saying.
Wow. It's over. Do you have fun?
Yeah,
Something else?
never done.
Me neither.
This is live. Is it still live? Are you recording?
I sure hope so.